Hey everyone, it's Calvin, and just before the video starts, I wanted to give a little bit of a message about the next two parts of this series. In the next two parts, from the characters themselves, there is quite a bit of talk about suicide and guilt that leads to suicide. And I just wanted to let people know this before they got into the video, just in case there's something in your life that has affected you in that way, and it's something that maybe you would not want to watch or would not want to experience again or go through again in your mind. It's a very serious discussion. It's a very serious topic. Mental health and suicide, all of that, it's a very serious thing to talk about. And I want to make sure that everyone knows what's going to be happening in these next two parts. Thank you and enjoy the video. Hey everyone, it's Calvin, also known as Rummer, and this is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. And this is my first ever playthrough of Trials and Tribulations, February 10th, 1:06 p.m. District Court, Courtroom number 7. Wait, we're just going back into the court? We don't get like a minute to hang outside for a bit? I need those moments to like calm down. Like what's so funny is like it feels like someone's broken my routine. Yeah, I thought we were gonna get a few minutes to talk outside, but I guess we're just going. Now then, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Well, witness? Yes? How can I help you? Well, it seems that we're to learn the truth. We'll need to hear your testimony. It's one of those questions I asked again, and I know last episode I was nearly broken completely. But it's one of those situations where, like, how can her testimony be ever taken as credible again when she just spent the entire trial so far, or the second part of the trial, lying completely and admitting to lying? Like, how can you ever take her to, like, it's kind of like a situation, like, if you know, you ever have, like, someone you know who, like, lies all the time, and then, like, then they're like, let me explain something later, and it's like, no. Like, how about let's not have that, you know what I mean? Because it's kind of like, how do I trust this testimony? How do I trust it now? Ever. But I guess we don't. But when you've seen what I have, sometimes the truth is better left unknown. In any case, let's hear your testimony. I'm worried. I'm very worried. Tell us of the plan that was carried out that night. The plan. The whole plan began with my death. A stupid... What's up with the music? How dare you? Who do you think you are? A stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as the next master. I think a lot of this can be put back to Morgan. But for it to work, Maya Fay would first have to die. The idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pinned on Iris. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway. Okay, arrest her? Get her? So that means you really are... Wait a minute. What do you... Wait, Phoenix, we've... It kind of seems like if we'd say nothing, we could win this case. You know? I'm not saying it's right. We have to find out the truth, but I'm just saying. It seems like if we say nothing, we could win this case. Did you say the plan was to kill Maya Fay? Yes. You have a problem with that? So Maya's... Are you implying that Maya's actually gone? Don't give us that nonsense. There's no way that... Watch yourself, Trite. No, you watch yourself. How about that? I might look... I slammed my coffee. There you go. If you got a problem, solve it during the cross-examination. That's one of my rules. You're not the ruler here, Godot. Mr. Godot is correct. Oh, he always is. He always is, Judge. And by my rules as well. Yes, great. To kill Maya. Could it be true? I mean, let's go with this. The whole plan began with my death. Let's press it. I don't think any statement here is actually going to hold up too well for us. I'm pressing everything. You were executed last month, correct? Yes, I was hanged. It wasn't exactly pleasant. How did you manage to discuss the plan? When did you talk with Morgan Fay? Last year. She was transferred to the same detention center as me. That is so... I guess they didn't know. Actually, no, they didn't know. They didn't know. I was about to make like a weird, like, why would they do that? But it's like, no, 100% they would have known. Since I was on death row and she was my mother, it was actually pretty easy to meet with her. Wait, so they did know? So that's when you discussed the plan? Are you crazy? At first, that woman was planning to kill me as well, even though I'm her own daughter. All to make Pearl Fay the master of Crane? She's a cold, twisted woman. She thought she could finally regain her lost honor. The honor she lost when her younger sister Misty took her place as the master. Ever since that day, she's been working on this plan. A plan, huh? A stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as the next master. But for it to work, Ma Fay would first have to die. Yeah. I almost read this as this was a testimony again. I'm pressing everything, I'm sorry. You're talking about Pearl Fay, is that correct? Yes, though at first she had high hopes for the two of us. You and your twin sister Iris. That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us had much, spiritual power. That's why we were abandoned by her, along with our father. Abandoned? It's actually very sad. It's very horrible what happened to them. It's really not nice. The only person I ever really cared about in life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, so I convinced my father to leave her at an old temple. What? That is horrible. I was literally getting ready to be like, you know what? Like, her father leaving and all this stuff was a pretty horrible thing, and it was a really horrible thing. Like, but I'm convinced that Dahlia is not all there, if that's the nicest way to put it. Like, I'm convinced she's not mentally stable. I really don't think she is at all. You mean Iris? Yes, my father remarried a woman who also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? Jesus Christ. And on top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in children in general. You do? If you have children, right? If you have children, and you choose to have children, like, especially in a father's sake as well, you're a part of it, dude. You're a part of it. You made that choice as well. I'm sorry. You made that choice. The really horrible one was that woman, that bitter, vengeful woman. It was her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, Pearl Fay. She was born with an abundance of spiritual power. Unfortunately for her, Morgan Fay heaped all of her broken hopes and dreams onto that poor child's back. Yeah. All because of her pathetic dreams of having a bloodline to become the main family. But for it to work, Maya Fay would first have to die. Are you telling me you tried to kill Maya? Because I'll just jump over the table now. Maya would have to die, but why? For our bloodline to succeed as the main family, thus making Pearl the new master. The remaining descendants of the current master had to be taken care of. But Pearls would never agree to a plan like that. She adores Maya. How sad you still don't get it, do you? What Pearl wanted had nothing to do with it. Yeah, no, like, even I kind of realized that. Pearl's whole decision-making thing in this is nothing to do with this whatsoever. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. Yeah, she just wants the family name. The only thing she cared about was the position of the master. That's all. That's ridiculous. She was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. The life of her daughter. And naturally, the life of Maya Fay as well. It is crazy how well everything is linked back to the original cases that we did with Morgan Fay and everything. It's crazy how, like, effortlessly it feels like it just seamed together. Like, you can see, like, that they sewed this together, but, like, you can't tell where. It's just so well done. Like, it's crazy. But here's the thing. If you've killed Maya, like, I don't think you understand what's about to happen. Like, I'm not taking that. How could anyone do that? Especially to Maya, of all people. The idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pinned on Iris. Yeah, I'm pressing this as well. I need to know everything about this, guys. I really do. You were going to kill Maya? Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was follow the instructions in the letter and channel me. You know what's funny, though? I actually think Pearl's a very strong-willed person. If she found out that you killed Maya, she would not become the master, I don't think. Now, the power of a family is a very powerful thing, especially when you're someone who has lost your mother at such a young age and probably miss your mother very much. So it might be a different story in that situation, but I really think that Pearls would, like, turn it down almost. Then I would simply have to use her body and finish the job. In any case, I'm already dead, and there's nothing any of you can do to me. That's the thing, like, why would she care? Like, why, like, oh, this is so good. It's so good, but so bad at the same time, if you get what I'm saying? Like, it's so good, but it's horrible for us. Like, what are we gonna do? Arrest Dahlia? We're gonna arrest Dahlia Hawthorne? So the plan was to blame the crime on your younger twin, on Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. She and I look absolutely identical. No one can tell us apart. Actually, I disagree. I disagree, actually, with one of these things, actually. Let me get the profiles up. Kind eyes. Terrifying. Calvin, they're the same. You can't see it. Maybe it's just because I know her. I know them now. Terrifying. Gentle. Scary. Loving. Borderline evil. Yeah, they're identical. But you get what I'm saying. Like, when you look at them, you feel different things, right? I can tell you apart now. If someone were to witness me killing Maya, naturally they would think it was Iris that had done it. This is... Whew. And the witness in this case was the head nun, Sister Bikini. I would never have guessed she was going to return to Hazakura Temple that night. But she wound up seeing Iris's crime anyway. But why did you want to pin the murder on Iris in the first place? She is your twin sister, isn't she? He knows all about, like, family and stuff like that as well. He's probably thinking his brother. As angry as I am at Dahlia, like, the whole moving of the hair thing is such a fantastic animation. Like, it's so good for her. Twin sister? Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I couldn't care less about her. You left her at a temple. Backstabber? You just don't understand. You never will. Anyway. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway. Okay, let's press this as well. I have no idea what we're going to present on this, though. You think the plan was a success? You heard me. Just as that woman had hoped. My Faye is dead. No. I refuse. Now the title of Master will pass on to Pearl Faye. Phoenix was quick with that objection. Maya's just... She's just trapped inside the sacred cavern. Really? You're as foolishly optimistic as ever, aren't you? My darling fiend, don't you dare. That's so bad. Do you want to know the truth? Ever since we met, I've despised you. Ugh. You snivel naivete and your pathetic faith in other people. It's so bad. I just want to know one thing. Yes, power through it. Power through this, Phoenix. I know it's not right. It's not going to feel good right now, but it's going to feel good down the line. What did you personally think of Morgan Faye's plan? I told you already, didn't I? It was a stupid plan. It had no point, no value other than fulfilling your own greedy desires. Yes, it was certainly nothing to be proud of. If that's how you feel, why did you help her carry it out? Why would you do it? Why would you kill Maya? You may not understand it, being the kind and gentle soul that you are. He is kind and gentle. You may be able to appreciate why someone like me would help a woman like that. So then tell me why! Phoenix is getting pretty emotional here. Isn't it obvious? I'm not like that woman. I only act in my own self-interest. The reason I helped her was for myself. How so? For my own personal satisfaction. Get that face off. That's not Dahlia, that's Iris's face. Stop that. What did you say? So this woman, Dahlia Hawthorne, she had her own reason for wanting Maya dead? Do you understand why I would kill Maya Faye now? That was my goal. So this is what we got out of it. Let's press this first of all. Obviously, it's because you were helping Morgan Faye. I wonder if, like, in this situation, because I don't... We're gonna have to work with that new line, because that's the new line we got, right? But I don't know what we present to any of these. But unless we get an answer here by pressing this, should we present Maya's profile to her? As if to say, like, explain her, or like look at her, or something like this. Either that, or I think we could do Iris presented on we could present Iris on a previous one. We'll blame it on Iris, or we could, like, I don't know. Like, the thing is, we haven't failed yet with this. We might as well try it. It's because you were helping Morgan Faye. Helping? Don't make me laugh. From the day I was born, for the day I died, I never helped anyone. I lived for myself, and in the end, I died for myself. I thought that was obvious. The open honesty of a dead person, and that's so weird to say, but like, you know, if you're already passed on, what do you have to, like, lose? You know? But why was she so desperately trying to clear her name beforehand, though, and blame it all on Maya, and blame it all on... Is it just because... Like, why would she do that, though? So she wasn't actually cooperating with Morgan. She was just using Morgan and her plan so she could accomplish her own goal. All I wanted to do was kill Maya Fey. That was the only thing I could think of to get revenge. Revenge? It looks like I have no choice but to present that piece of evidence. I can't believe it. She meant to kill Maya. I've got to keep a cool head. And I need to get more information out of her. It's the only way to understand this plan and what she's after as well. I think that's what they mean. I think that's what they mean. I think I was right with the presenting the Maya thing. Oh, sorry, I'll go through it again, guys. Apologies for that. I went too fast. I genuinely think that we have to present Maya's profile because that's the only way we're going to get some information. Unless there's another piece of evidence that we have to present. But I think that's it. This evidence clearly Oh, no, it isn't that. Okay, that's my bad. That's my bad. Wait! Revenge! Wait, revenge! It just hit me. I thought we present Maya to get more information, but it just hit me when I saw I thought of revenge. Which one need revenge against Maya? Mia. That your actual goal had nothing to do with Maya Fey herself? As I said, none of you have the power to punish me anymore. Because I'm already dead. Well, I had the same problem, you see. You can't punish it. Oh my god, she is done. Like, she's done. And you can't take revenge against them either. You wanted to take revenge on someone? I was sentenced to die because of that woman. Mia Fey. That music spells danger. I wanted to send her a message. It was at her hands that I suffered my first humiliation. I wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, when I realized revenge wasn't possible, I gave up. And the reason it was impossible? Was it perhaps because Mia Fey had already died? Yes. And I realized there's only one way to take revenge against the dead. And how do you do that? Even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever. That's one thing people definitely believe. I wanted to take away the person that Mia Fey loved the most. I wanted to kill her with my own hands. That would be the one and only way I could take my revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason I helped out with that woman's plans. Just for that? For that you would kill Maya? Your goal was no different than that of Morgan Fey. Maya's no longer, how could Maya ever be convicted at this point? As I said, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Yes, and the thing is, Judge, I totally agree with what you're saying, but in it's totally deeper than just like, yeah, you're kind of like your mother. Like, it's very clear that Dahlia didn't grow up in a great household. It's very clear. And I'm not excusing anything, by the way, before someone goes like, Calvin, you can't excuse bad people, the things bad people do because of their past. I'm just saying that it's good to understand everything, even if, like, they still did bad things. If you get what I'm saying, especially from a story perspective as well. What a cruel plan. Cruel, cold, and heartless. Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you, there's not a thing you can do to me. That night, at about 9:30 p.m., I materialized into this world. I quickly pinned my hair up and put on the Demon Warden hood. Then I picked up the staff that was by my side and left Hazakura Temple. So, it was at least Dudum who channeled her after all. That ridiculous head nun never noticed a thing. She left Maya Fey at the inner temple and wobbled back, clutching her poor old back. What did you do then? That kid was easier to handle than I'd hoped. Oh. I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out a dagger I got from my storeroom and... No, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't even say it to me. I do not want to hear it. You're saying you stabbed Maya. It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. Of course you don't. Of course you don't. What does that mean? No clear memory. Oh my god. If you actually even if let's say she's not dead. Let's say she survived the stab wound somehow. Even if you stab Maya, like one of the kindest, most honest and open people in this game, a person who brings light into every single person's life that she meets and makes everyone happier than they were when she first met them. Like, I'm sorry, but like that's just it for me. I don't know. I think I was stabbed. You were stabbed? At the last minute, Ma Fei must have stabbed me, I'm sure of it. That's not like it at all. Maya wouldn't stab a French fry with a plastic fork. Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness. But before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern, so it was you. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. You can't really convict Maya at this point though, right? If you were trying to, it's self-defense now, right? Attempted murder for self-defense. I'd hoped it would cast suspicion on her. It did. It did. I can't believe she was thinking of that until the bitter end. That's right, she was trying to hurt people until her last breath. That's when my memory temporarily stops. It stops? I don't have any memory of actually killing Maya Fei with my own two hands. My very last memory was Maya's terror-filled eyes. Stop it now. When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern surrounded by darkness. You were in the sacred... Yeah, this is the first time you're in it too. You were in the sacred cavern? The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks. Somehow I had been trapped in there. But how did you wind up in there? I'd like to know that myself. Anyway, I was worried. I didn't know whether or not Maya Fei was dead. And I swore I wouldn't return to the underworld until I killed Underworld. The big red guy in the underworld, like, hey guys, I heard we shouldn't mess with this girl Dahlia. Like, I heard she's crazy, man. Until I knew I killed her myself. For a ghost, you're one tough cookie. I wanted to get out there and make sure she was dead, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out. The trick lock stopped you, huh? I didn't know how to remove it. So you're saying you were actually confined against your will inside the sacred cavern? Yes, I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible, but it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it. Interrupted? It was early in the morning, but someone came into the training hall. Could it have been... Wait, what did he say? Oh god, I skipped it by accident. I thought the same thing. I'm so sorry, guys. But I couldn't see. Why not? If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge. I apologize so much for that, guys. So I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the sacred cavern. I can watch it in post, by the way, guys, so I will know what it is for next time as well. That morning, only 2 people could have gone to the training hall. Maya and Pearls. So they're the 2 people. Pearls went there to cover the hanging scroll and gravy, her greatest mission ever. Still, I finally managed to remove the lock, but I was too late. What do you mean by that? The flies had already started to gather. The bridge had been fixed and the police had started their investigation, correct? Oh my god. Naturally, I couldn't go out. So instead, I returned to the cavern and put the lock back on myself. No! I realized I wouldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse as I'd hoped. But just then, Lady Luck showed up. Lady Luck? After that big earthquake, she showed up all by herself. The real Iris? She said she'd come to make sure the sacred cavern was alright. Stupid girl. I came out from the sacred cavern and got a feel for the situation. And I locked her away in my place. I'd finally learned exactly what had happened. Wait a second. Wait a second. You locked Iris away? It was then that I learned that the planet actually succeeded. What do you mean your plan succeeded? I'd misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the one that had summoned me, I assumed that it was Pearl Fay.
Well, of course, you would have assumed that. It was written in the instructions.
But I was wrong. The person that had actually called my spirit back was... Misty Fay? The picture book. What are you doing? What is happening?
What?
Well, that's really the only possibility, isn't it? After I lost consciousness in the garden. It was her body that was left lying there. The music's so good. My Fay. I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands after all, but even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit.
And that is?
Matricide, the sin of killing her own mother. Wait. No, wait, cease this.
Order on the court, what is the meaning of this?
It's true that I was the one who attacked Maya Fay, but even so, the murderer who actually snuffed out Misty Fay's life was none other than your darling little Maya. What are you Where is this going? Ridiculous. That's nonsense. Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There's even evidence supporting these facts, isn't there? What? What do you mean? What is this so-called evidence? The fact that Maya Fay had disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it? Huh? The idea that she's still in the sacred cavern is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple, that much is obvious. In that case, there's only one place she could be.
Where?
Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of Eagle River, where else?
Eagle River?
Guys, I just have to see where this is going. Like, I can't even, comprehend, everything that's gonna be happening. Maya Fay killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's why she threw herself into Eagle River. Most bodies that wind up in there are lost forever. This is not something to lie about as well, by the way. This is horrible. This is really horrible. So, what do you have to say now? Feeny, don't call him that. Don't call him that. How about that? Whose phone is that? Oops. Sorry. That's my phone. What kind of ringtone is that? It's a good song. Godot here. Okay, thanks.
Was it something important?
They just finished removing the locks from the sacred cavern. That's great. What about Maya? There was a woman in the cave.
Was it Maya Fay?
It was the accused, Sister Iris. What is happening? What is happening? How? Wait. Wait. If Sister Iris is there, who's channeling Dahlia? I locked her in there yesterday. I just finished telling you that. So, what about Maya? Where is she? There was no one else found inside the sacred cavern. No, it can't be. I told you, didn't I? She's dead. If she's dead, this is gonna be the worst moment in this series. I will feel. I'm not gonna. I can't think this way until it's confirmed.
It seems that this case has come to an end. What? A tragic end.
You can't just take her word on it all the time. You can't just do this. It's not over. Is it over? Sadly, it appears the killer of Elise Dunham was also known as Missy Fay. Was her own daughter, Maya Fay. Okay, Judge. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. This is horrible. This is all horrible. But like, you can't just take the word of someone who lied through the whole court case and take that as the final piece of evidence. We can't do this. Like, please let me like investigate more even. Like, let me do something about this. That you're literally just taking a story as evidence.
Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Maya Fey jumped into her death into the raging waters of Eagle River.
Yes, no, I don't want to talk about that. I'm sorry, but that's just such a horrible thing if it is a lie. It can't be. Phoenix is devastated. Ha!
Wright, have you ever heard this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
Godot, that's your first good line. That's your first good line. That's your first good line that wasn't a riddle. That's actually a really fantastic line. We've used this before, by the way. We've used this method before. Well done, Godot. Finally said something that makes sense that's not about coffee. Well done. Godot. No matter how improbable it may seem.
What is that supposed to mean, Prosecutor Godot?
According to this witness, Maya Fey threw herself into Eagle River. However, is that really the truth? Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden, which means if Maya had thrown herself into the river, it must have been from the inner temple side near the bridge, which is where... That's right. That's where she jumped from. Godot, what do you have? But that's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there. What? Don't get your panties all twisted up, Trite. Just relax and think through the whole thing again. So, it's impossible? Maya couldn't have thrown herself into Eagle River? It's from the previous case.
Miss Hawthorne claims Miss Fey threw herself into the river from the inner temple side. Do you have any evidence that refutes this claim?
Wait a second, is it from the previous case? The rocks on the other side. Remember they said in the previous case that like, if she fell from there or she got pushed over, she would land on the rocks. She would go splat on the rocks and we'd find her body. Right? It's impossible to jump into Eagle River from the inner temple side. No one knows it better than this witness. Exactly! That's such a good way of bringing it back. What did you say? 11 years ago, you jumped into the very same river. Just take a look at this overhead map. As you can see, below the cliff on the inner temple side is a big rock shelf.
Oh? Oh, you're right.
She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from there. In other words, if she had jumped, we would be able to see her body in this photo. True. Huh. So you finally figured it out. You working with me, Godot? Is this our moment? Is this our moment to finally see eye to eye? Eye to eye, eye mask to eyes?
Order, order.
You're just playing with me. Oh, that's exactly what you've been doing. That's exactly what you've been doing. Maya Fey's body is at the bottom of the Eagle River. There's nowhere else she could possibly be hiding. Miss Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Yes, just a few minutes ago. Maya Fey wasn't inside the sacred cavern. We now know that she didn't throw herself into Eagle River. Correct. That eliminates all the most likely possibilities. Now, although it seems improbable, there's still one other place she could be.
What? What is this one possibility you were talking about?
That's obviously a bluff. So where is her dead body then? What? Are they gonna make me pick? Finally, I think the pieces are falling into place. Are you gonna make me pick? How dare? How dare? How dare? How dare? Normally the living have no way to punish the dead. But there is a way to give Dolly Hawthorne the ultimate punishment. Shall I tell you, Miss Hawthorne? 4? Shall I tell you where Maya is this very instant? Maya Fey is in the inner temple, in Hazakor Temple, in this very courtroom. Is Maya channeling Dahlia? No. No, because remember we said this before. How is she? Who's channeling Dahlia at this point? If Iris is back at the Inner Temple, is it? Music, stop. There's only one possibility left. Namely, she's right here in this very courtroom. Maya Fey is here?
You say she's here in my courtroom?
I'm getting chills again. The hair on my arm is standing up like it's a freaking Korn concert. It's like, it's so there. Dahlia Hawthorne, I seem to recall that you said I had misunderstood one thing, you see. So what? But I think there's one more thing you misunderstood. What do you mean? Tell me something. At this very moment, who is channeling Dahlia Hawthorne? Yeah, who is it? Who is it? Why, that's obvious. It's Pearl Fey, that pathetic little sniveling runt. Okay, that's it. Okay, come on, outside. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We're not taking this anymore. You're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it. Yeah, she wasn't able to do it. Here's the thing, I don't insult pearls. I always say, don't insult my favorite people in the world. Don't insult pearls, don't insult Maya, don't Marangar, don't insult anyone, okay? Don't insult my people. Don't do it. This is the first time it's happened. Isn't there any explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit? It could happen if someone else is already channeling the same spirit, so Maya is channeling her. That's it. That's such a great reveal. That's so good. That's so good. Someone called me before Pearl did, but who? Pearl's even tried again on the day after the crime, but she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clearer to you right about now, am I correct? It wasn't Pearls that channeled you. There was someone else that called you for, oh my god, through my entire, I'm sorry for like talking about the chills constantly, guys, but it's just like this game does it to me over and over again. Take that. This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Misty Fey is gone, but why? But why is the question? There's only one possibility left.
Come on already. I can't stand the tension.
Dahlia Hawthorne. The person channeling you right now must be Maya Fey. This is the craziest court case we've ever done. What land am I in?
But how could that be?
Remember what this witness Dahlia Hawthorne said about her goal? She said that her goal was to kill Maya Fey.
Yes, that's right. But if Maya channeled the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her...
Well, Gramps, what would happen?
Could it be...
It looks like you finally understand, Your Honor. Well, I don't. What are you going on about? What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you. And there's only one reason. To protect yourself from you. That's... Maya, you genius! That's my girl. You know? I'm getting really emotional because it's like... She's come so far and using her own channeling technique to do something like that. Maya's... She's not the same Maya we knew at the start. That's all I'll say. That's genius, Maya. That's freaking genius. Yes, on that night of the crime, you were only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Fey. The path back to Hasagor Temple was closed off and there was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem became... Where would be the safest place to hide? Hiding as your actual killer. Oh, you realized, Dahlia? You mean... That's when she channeled me? At this time you thought you'd had been channeled by Pearls. That's why it never occurred to you. That Maya's hiding place was you! Can you imagine that power? Like, can you imagine like Frederick Krueger coming after you? And like, you just become him? Like... No! No! Don't oh my god. You're saying that Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool by a little whelp? That's what Phoenix meant by how to get back at her in the best way possible. Dahlia doesn't like to feel like she's not in control. The idea that you take that control away from her is like the ultimate own for her. That's even worse than death for her. Maya Fey killed herself isn't obvious. No, liar, liar. Liar, liar, Hasagor Temple bridge was on fire. Sorry, but no. It would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. This was the only avenue of escape for open to Maya. Oh my god. The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple. I don't believe you. The feeling's mutual, Dahlia. The feeling's mutual. That stupid little girl like that who has never been out in the real world. She could never have come with a plan like that. You don't understand. In the time that you've known, since the last time you've seen her, you don't know what she's been through. She's seen all the worst crooks, some of the worst killers, some of the craziest cases, met some of the craziest people and some of the most amazing people as well. She's grown up a lot. She's still the same old Maya at heart, but she's grown up a lot and she's way more responsible and smarter than you give her credit for. Who could have ever given her such a brilliant idea? Well, me, of course. Oh, Phoenix gave it to her. Oh, Mia! What? No, that's even better! I do feel bad that I'm taking the credit that I gave to Maya away from her, but I still stand by it and say that Maya's grown up a lot, you know what I mean? Even besides that, we're not going to take that part away from her, you know? Still, you don't give her enough credit. She's way smarter than you think she is. That's even, okay, that's even cooler. That's even cooler. You get what I'm saying, though? I don't want to take all the credit away from Maya. Mia's freaking back here again. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. And she's face to face with Dahlia as well. So it's true, it was you. Yes. Huh. You're something else. Oh my god, and she's right across from Godot as well. But what are you doing here? That hair. It's pearls, right? Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You just had cornered Maya in the inner temple garden. And then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness. I was stabbed by Maya Fey. Can I just say, it's always like I know it's supposed to show like derangement, but like always a cool look to have like single strands of hair in someone's face. It's always a cool design. Actually, Maya lost consciousness at that time, at the same time as you. She did? Not terribly surprising since she was about to be killed. Judge being considerate here. When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help. So she channeled me. She explained in the memo situation, So here's the thing. Actually, let's go roundabout again. The credit that I gave her before for making a smart move, this is just as smart. Freaking having the wherewithal to summon your sister in this moment as well. And to call on help. You don't have to do everything by yourself either. She asked me what I thought she should do. I'm still so freaking proud of Maya, dude. I don't care. I don't care. She did that? I can't believe it. Of course, I didn't have the details. But one thing was perfectly clear. And that was? I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free. Oh my god, Mia. Free? What do you mean? It was a race against time, so I wrote down two things that Maya had to do. Oh, poor Maya. I miss her so much. It's so sad that we didn't get her for this last trial. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock her in the sacred cavern until help arrived. So it was Maya who put the lock on there. Yes, but why did you order her to do those two things? If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Fey. Pearls? Yes, Pearl didn't properly understand the plan. All she was trying to do was follow her mother Morgan Fey's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have been turned out very badly, to put it mildly. So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Fey to kill Maya at all costs. Yes, it certainly sounds like that was the intent all along. How dare you? I won't forget this. Why not just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure. Yeah, that's a bigger defeat than anything. Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame when you say... What do you mean by another? Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure. Here's the thing again, like I said, you can't punish a dead person, but this is going to hurt her more than anything. What? How dare you? 11 years ago. Wow, this whole game was freaking Dahlia Hawthorne. The fake kidnapping, your very first crime. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but... After Terry Falls escaped and went to meet with Valerie Hawthorne, the truth was exposed. Shut your mouth! That wasn't my fault! It was because of that stupid oaf prisoner that was, and that weakling of a policewoman. Nothing's ever your fault though, is it? And then 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but... yeah, it's still so sad. You wound up killing someone else. It's still so sad. As a result, you were sentenced to death. Yeah, it's 2 failures, and it's the 3rd, right? It's one stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny. You wiped that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face. And now this. You've messed up again. You let Maya Fey escape, and even though she was right there in front of you. Mia Fey. Mia Fey, Mia Fey, Mia Fey! You spinster. I was supposed to kill Maya Fey like I swore I would. And if only you'd have gotten the spiky-haired jerk, and if only you had gotten this spiky-haired jerk the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death. True. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me. What? What did you say? Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you will never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all eternity. I remember what you said earlier in the trial. You said there was no way we could punish you, because you were already dead.
Are you gonna spell it out, Phoenix?
Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit of the ego lives on forever. That's very true, Dahlia. And that's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne, a miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. Jesus. And for you, there is no escape from that, no hope for freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has burnt to a crisp. You're wrong. It can't be. Jesus Christ, how could I lose to the likes of you? It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. It's not easy to watch either, guys. I know like people are gonna say she deserves it and all this stuff, but like, it's not easy to watch this type of stuff either for me when someone's having a nervous breakdown like this. Whoa, man. Like, this isn't easy to watch at all. That's such a cool visual. Not ready. Not ready to go. What in the world? The Magmatama. This is incredible. Oh. Did someone think to catch her? Stop standing around! Man, my eyes are like full of tears. Seeing Maya after like all that time worrying about her, not knowing where she was gonna be. Like, just freaking everything at once just built up and just like all came out. If you're wondering why the video's so long, by the way, I have some more time this week. That's why the videos have been a bit longer. I assume you are the real Iris. I just want to... Okay, we'll talk about it in a bit. We'll talk about what I want to talk about in a bit. Yes, I was just rescued from the sacred cavern. I must say, you and your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godot, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne? If you ask me, Your Honor, it looks like she went back to hell. To the hell she came from. It seems that Mr. Fey wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Fey as well as the young Pearl Fey were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan. Yes, Your Honor. The tragedy of the Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. Is this the end?
It would be best for everyone it would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again.
Your Honor? What is it? About this whole spirit medium thing. It's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now.
Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study up on the crane channeling technique.
Hey, is that the new year issue of Occult?
I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench, and in all that time I finally learned this one thing. Each case is different and takes place in its world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ.
Never thought of it that way.
At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of the Hazakura Temple.
Objection!
Godot? Godot, leave it. Leave it, Godot. Leave it.
You're a little too fast with that gavel.
Your Honor.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Godot?
This trial, it isn't over yet. What? That's what he means. Yeah, what's happening? Trite. Remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony? Huh? Dahlia's testimony? I caught up with her in the front of the... Oh, yeah! It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed. Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone.
That's right.
The person that was ultimately killed was a spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. Elise Doodham, no Misty Face, so Maya still could have done it. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it. This isn't over? Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. We can't let her walk until there is evidence that proves her innocence. No way, yeah, this is so... Like, it actually makes sense. It actually makes sense.
This court isn't prepared for any further testimony.
The prosecution is ready to call our final witness.
Final witness?
This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Faye.
Indeed.
Is it really alright, Mr. Prosecutor? Of course it's alright, Madame Attorney. Oh, you're very nice to her.
Very well then. Who is this final witness?
Isn't it obvious? There's one person who saw the whole event and will put a final dagger in this case.
Someone who saw the murder take place?
The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes. Oh no. You mean Maya? You can't. She can't testify after what she's been through. We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya Faye to the witness stand.
Very well, but first we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Faye to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial.
Hey, Wright, I've got something to say to you, so listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow manage to just squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. Yeah, at least I don't lie. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save you. True. True. You've got some nerve. But that's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to have to do this by yourself.
That's enough. This court is now in recess.
Whoa. February 10, 2:56 p.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby, number 1. I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me, but I was missing all day and we didn't even have a chance to talk. She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places, and Iris is inside the sacred cavern. I wanted to at least be in the defendant box today to root you on. Thanks, Iris. Thank you. Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. Something more important than that, though. I have to ask you. Why did you help your sister out as much as you did? Huh? If you had tried to get help at the sacred cavern yesterday, You wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there. My sister. I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by her mother and never got any love from her father either. Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it? Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini. That's true. Who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hazakura Temple. I always loved her. And you can't help that. You can't help those feelings. You know what I mean? And like, it's very easy, you know, when you're from an outside perspective to say like, what? You know, that's dumb. But like, sometimes you can't help those feelings. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong, she could never complain about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her. Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago? Yes. I wanted to be useful to her in some way. That was you? But, as usual, I was too cowardly at the last minute. I ran away. Because of that. Dahlia's stepsister Valerie ended up. Yeah, that is, it ended pretty shockingly. But the things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder. Some people? You must mean, yes, 2 defense attorneys, Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth. Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. Oh God. You. That's right. Iris. There's one more thing that I have to ask you. Yes, what is it? On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Dunham, was it really you? Yes, it was me. That night after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone. Beep. There's a problem. Come to the Inner Temple right away. I got the snowmobile and headed for the Inner Temple, but... Lightning struck, yep. The path to the Inner Temple was cut off, right? Exactly. We can't just leave the body here. So you've got to do this exactly as I say, got it? So there was a swinging motion as well, oh my lord. It was me. I was the one that received the body. Yeah, we kind of thought this at the time, I suppose. But like on a different context, I believe. The murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed too much. The staff that Miss Gleason was held. I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff. Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile. But why? Why did you alter the body? I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty Faye. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the shishito blade. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground. So you're heavily involved in this too. Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone the real killer. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it. I see. The victim's staff updated, yep.
Hey, defendant.
Yes?
The judge is calling you. He wants to see you in his chambers. He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne.
Alright. Well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you. Oh, okay. Something she wants to tell me? Okay, we'll talk later. So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning. Mia. How is Maya doing? Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. It's always weird when you inhabit Pearls' body. I'm sorry, it's always weird. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case. I'm gonna beat up this case. I see. You don't mean she learned who Elise Stunham really was? Yes. I went to the medical office and talked with her, and told her everything I knew. But why? Maya's stronger than you think. Yeah, I really do think she is. I knew she could take it. All of it. What do you mean by that? I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. The trial is about to restart. The real killer? Do you know who it is yet? Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still. I think that just maybe I know who it was. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the Inner Temple. And the criminal wasn't just there by accident. Which means that the real killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. And one more thing. The victim was moved to Hazakura Temple, side by Pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck on the Inner Temple side for almost the entire day. Exactly, so the culprit was someone that wasn't in Hazakura Temple the following day. That is as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win or lose. Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see anyway? And who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me. All by myself. There it is, the to be continued. There's a lot to talk about here, guys. There's a lot to talk about. And I think I'm not going to bog it down with too much speculation what's going to be happening now, but I want to talk about that part because that was one of my favorite parts ever, over those two parts, I suppose. First of all, like, I know somebody's going to want to have a conversation about, like, the whole Dahlia situation. And yes, I'm sorry, but, like, yes, she did horrible things. Yes, she did very mean things, but it's still horrible to see anyone have a mental breakdown like that, even if they're gone or they're evil or anything like that. Especially since it's very clear that she didn't have a fantastic childhood. Also, at the same time, I'll say this. Her sins cannot be forgiven. She has murdered people, you know? She's responsible for the death of many people. And now, because of her, this whole trial has hurt so many people as well. You can't ignore those things. You just can't. It's just one of those things. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, like, it's not the same thing, but Azula in Avatar The Last Airbender, where it's like, she does all these horrible things, but it's still like you can understand how she turned out that way, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's one of those situations. I say this as I'm wearing an Azula t-shirt, so maybe you shouldn't take my word on that. In any way, another thing is that when I saw Maya again, I couldn't handle it anymore. I was in tears. Just like the case last game, it's awful that we didn't get to spend this time with her investigating. If I knew that our last investigation with her would have been 2 trials ago, I would have savored every moment. I really would have. I really, really would have. Cool visuals, amazing music. This whole trial has been absolutely fantastic. I will see you guys very, 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 very soon. I'm trying to find more time to record as much as I can because this can be very lengthy sometimes. So if there is a longer video, just know that I had more time. If there is a shorter video, just know that I didn't have a lot of time. That's basically the way to go about it. And yeah. And also making light of suicide as she did really rubbed me the wrong way. See you very soon.